Hello everyone, I'm Craig, this is Running Cafe. I hope you're doing well and you're smashing your running. Now before we get into the topic of today's video, I just wanted to mention that last week I published a new article on my blog which accompanies this YouTube channel. It's a blog exclusive, so there's no video to go along with it. Essentially, it's providing an update on my journey of getting back into running after having 8 months off. In December 2024, I released a video stating that I'd be starting to run again.
He's back.
He's back! And this blog post can be considered a direct follow-up and update to that early December video. It includes my progress, some of the challenges, some of the lessons I've learned so far on this very humbling and tough journey, and it also includes some of my performance stats and also a bit of an explanation as to why I haven't posted a new video in a while. I'll leave the link in the description and in the comments of this video if you'd like to check it out. So moving on to the topic of today's video, how to stay positive after rejection in a race lottery. Race lotteries are quite rare and they often take place for famous races where the demand by runners to take part outstrips the number of available places available. So runners have the opportunity to put their name into a massive pool of participants and hope that their number is selected. A few weeks ago, I learned that unfortunately I wasn't selected in the lottery to run UTMB's CCC, and needless to say, I was quite disheartened and disappointed. But it got me thinking that over the years of running, I've had my fair share of being unsuccessful in race lotteries, and to be totally honest, I've not actually succeeded in any race lotteries I've entered. It can be easy to get disheartened, frustrated, feel disappointed and even bitter, but it's really important to stay positive. So in this video, I'm going to share some of the things that have helped me stay positive over the years when I've been unsuccessful in a race lottery. First and foremost, it's important to remember that if you're not successful in a race lottery, it's nothing personal and it's based most of the time purely on luck. It's not like the organisers have assessed your personal qualities or your determination, your principles as a runner. It's not as if they've actually gone through your training log and scrutinised everything in detail. More often than not, it's completely out of your control. And whilst in a few scenarios you can improve your chances, which I'll get onto later on in this video, there's often not a guarantee that you will be successful. And just remember, it certainly doesn't reflect you as a person or you as a runner. Next is to focus on things that you can control. So whilst the race lottery is not 100% in our control, we can take charge in loads of other facets of our lives and in our training. So whether that's throwing yourself into club runs with your running club, entering another race, doubling down on your training, making sure that you prioritize your nutrition. They're all really important if you're particularly disappointed that you didn't get the result you wanted in a race lottery. The last thing you want to be doing is to kind of say, well, what's the point in running and training properly? I really wanted to do that race, so screw it, I'm just going to abandon my training and not take it seriously. Don't do that. Try and stay positive. Focus on what you can control. Next to remember is that these big races with these lottery systems aren't the only races that exist for particular race categories. I guarantee you that whatever race distance you've entered to participate in, whether it's a half marathon, a marathon, or an ultra marathon, there are plenty of other races that are out there. And you are more than welcome to enter and participate in those. Now, some people would say that one of the main reasons they want to enter these big lottery races is because of the atmosphere and how iconic they are. But on the flip side, there's tons of other great races out there that you can explore and take part in. And also what I like about doing other races, which are kind of less subscribed to, less known about, is that it gives you a chance to engage with grassroots, smaller races, which often have really solid, tight running communities. And it's just a really nice way to explore races which for many runners are unexplored races. Next is to consider doing some or all of the race course anyway. Now, despite having not been selected to take part in the big event, there's nothing stopping you from actually running on some or all of that route. Whilst this one may be suited to ultramarathons like UTMB or CCC, where they're nationally maintained, publicly available trails in nature, it's still possible to do some or all of the routes of big city marathons like the London Marathon, the Chicago Marathon, which have lottery systems in place. Whilst you won't get the same atmosphere, there's nothing stopping you from running on the same course that other people would have ran on many times before you. Also, it's important to remember that there's always next year, unless the race is cancelled for whatever reason. More often than not, there is a chance to enter in the next round of the lottery. So always bear that in mind. It's not done and dusted forever. You may get another chance to enter in the future. And the last part of the video, we're going to look at ways which you can use to increase your chances of getting into whatever race you want to get into. So on some occasions, there are actually ways you can improve the odds in which you'll be selected to take part in a given race. So in big city marathons, they will often have what's called good for age entry, and this is sometimes a separate lottery system for runners that have demonstrated that they're capable of running a marathon in what's called a good for age entry. So each age band will typically have a time grade associated with it, and if you have run a prior marathon quicker than that age band, then you'll be eligible to enter the good for age group race lotteries. Next is to consider charity places. Now, big charities will often support the famous city marathons and half marathons and offer a selection of places to runners who want to take part and represent their charity. The caveat with this is that more than often you'll have to pledge to raising a certain amount of money in order to participate, so bear that in mind. Not that I need to mention this, but if you're going for a charity place, make sure that you genuinely believe in that charity and its aims, and you're passionate about raising money for that particular cause. And in the case of UTMB's final week in Chamonix each year, so they're races like OCC, which is a 50k, the 100k CCC, and the UTMB main 100-mile event, you can actively increase your chances by acquiring more of what they call run-in stones at other UTMB series events. Now, there's mixed opinions about UTMB in general and their run-in stone system. Some people say that it's just a way to commercialize their other events and get more revenue. But if you are serious about taking on any of the UTMB races and you want to increase your chances, consider doing other UTMB races throughout the year to get more running stones and to give yourself a better chance when you enter the lottery. There you have it, just a few things to bear in mind to stay positive after not being successful in a race lottery. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ways to stay positive. I'd be really interested to hear them. And if you agree or disagree with any of the ballot systems in place, let me know as well. Personally, I have a little bit of a problem with some of the systems like the London Marathon's ballot system. I think they should adopt more of a system like the Western States Endurance Run in America, whereby every year you're not successful, your chances are doubled the next year. So in the first year you have 1 ticket in the lottery, the second year you have 2 tickets in the lottery, the next year you have 4 tickets in the lottery, and so on. Personally, I think that's a much fairer way to do things. Let me know what you think in the comments, and most importantly, just remember that a race lottery result does not define you as a person or as a runner. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Craig. This is Running Cafe, and I'll see you in the next one.
I could get used to late.